How the Crusades changed the world forever. Throughout history, people have gone to war for their beliefs, but few conflicts were as long, complex, and bloody as the Crusades. It all began at the end of the 11th century. At that time, Europe was under the influence of the Church. Jerusalem, the holy city, was under Muslim control, and the Pope wanted it back. But this wasn't just about religion. It was also about power, land, and wealth. In 1095, Pope Urban II gathered a massive crowd in France and declared, "God wills it." Those words echoed across Europe. Thousands of knights, peasants, adventurers, even criminals took up the cross and began their journey. This became known as the First Crusade. After years of marching and brutal battles, the Crusaders reached Jerusalem in 1099. They captured the city, but what followed was horrifying. A massive massacre took place. Muslims, Jews, and even some Christian sects were slaughtered. Blood flowed through the streets of Jerusalem, and thus the Kingdom of Jerusalem was established, but it wouldn't last forever. Decades later, the Muslim world began to recover. In Anatolia, the Seljuks grew stronger. In Syria, the Zengid dynasty rose to power, and soon two great names emerged, Nur ad-Din Zengi and his commander Salah ad-Din al-Ayyubi, Saladin. Their goal to unite the Muslim lands and reclaim the holy city. Meanwhile, Europe prepared for another attempt. In 1147, the Second Crusade began. The kings of France and Germany led huge armies toward the east, but nothing went as planned. Turkish resistance, starvation, and poor leadership turned the campaign into a disaster. Europe was left disappointed and humiliated. Then came the rise of Saladin, one of the most respected leaders in history. After years of careful strategy and diplomacy, Saladin recaptured Jerusalem in 1187. When this news reached Europe, it caused a storm. Three of Europe's most powerful rulers decided to strike back: Richard the Lionheart of England, Philip II of France, and Frederick Barbarossa of the Holy Roman Empire. This was the Third Crusade, perhaps the most famous of them all, but the journey was cursed from the start. Barbarossa drowned on the way. Philip returned home early. Only Richard remained to face Saladin. For years, the two leaders fought fiercely, but they also respected each other deeply. Eventually, they chose diplomacy over destruction. Saladin agreed to allow Christian pilgrims to visit Jerusalem freely while the city itself remained under Muslim control. It was a rare moment of honor and respect in a time of endless war. According to legend, when Richard fell ill, Saladin sent him doctors and fruit from his own camp. Even in war, humanity found a way to shine through. But in 1204, everything changed. The Fourth Crusade became one of history's strangest events. The goal was Jerusalem, but instead the Crusaders turned their swords toward Constantinople, a Christian city. Under the influence of the Venetians, they looted and destroyed the Byzantine capital. Churches burned, treasures were stolen, and countless civilians were killed. The event permanently split the Eastern and Western Christian worlds. Later crusades lost all meaning. Some targeted Egypt, others North Africa, and one of them became one of the saddest stories in human history, the Children's Crusade. Thousands of children set out for the Holy Land, believing that God would protect them. Most never arrived. Many died of hunger or were sold into slavery. It was a tragic reminder of how blind faith can be exploited. Finally, in 1291, the city of Acre, the last Crusader stronghold, fell to Muslim forces. After nearly 2 centuries, the Crusades had come to an end, but their impact never truly disappeared. The Crusades changed both Europe and the Middle East forever. They opened new trade routes, brought knowledge of science, medicine, and architecture from the Islamic world into Europe, and shifted the balance of power, weakening the church and strengthening kings and nations.